Boom. Headshot. Sniping's a good job, mate. It's challenging work. Not meta. I guarantee you won't go hungry, because at the end of the day, as long as there's red and blue in the round, one team is going to want the other team dead. Oh. Team, I'm not throwing the game, team, I'm a marksman. Will the difference be one's a roll and the other's mental sickness? I'll be honest with you, my teammates do not care for it. I think this mate saw me. Yes, he did. Feelings? Look mate, you know who's got feelings? Blokes who bottom frag and flame their team for losing. Professionals have standards. Be polite. Be efficient. Have a plan to wipe the whole enemy team. Hello everybody, I am Private PupCup and welcome to my channel, where we discuss games, media, and things I find interesting. Today's video is another entry into my series Tarkov Arena Breaking the Meta, where I discuss off-meta weapons from Tarkov Arena to see how viable they are. Today's weapons are the bolt-action rifles, and with the intro out of the way, let's get into some quick history of bolt-action rifles. First, let's start out by talking about the history about the bolt-action rifle. The first prototype of a bolt-action rifle was made in 1824 by Johann Nikolaus von Drais. He patented the Nadel Gewehr, the needle rifle, in 1836, and this was adopted by the Prussian army in 1841. The first rifle with conventional centerfire cartridges was the Vetterli rifle in 1867. After some development, tube-fed magazines were installed onto bolt-action rifles. One such example of this is the Lebel rifle used by the French in World War I. As you probably know, bolt-action rifles saw much use during World War I, as the technology for automatic weaponry was primitive at best. Even after the First World War, many nations still used bolt-action rifles in World War II. This was due to two main reasons: previous army supply, and the rifles being good enough. However, there was a shift in World War II towards greater volume of fire, and because of this, bolt-action rifles quickly became outdated. In the modern day, firearm technology has allowed for accurate, long-range, semi-automatic weapons to be created, leaving manual bolt-action rifles in the dust. Despite this, there still isn't much need for long-range marksmanship. Why risk a talented sniper when you can just call in an airstrike? In the modern day, they still are used, mostly in civilian hunting and limited military marksmanship roles. One interesting use case of bolt-action rifles in the modern day is in Ukraine, with the Russian and Ukrainian armies using the Mosin Nagant rifle as a form of cheap weaponry. Now that we've discussed the history and use cases of bolt-action rifles, let's discuss the pros and cons of the ones that I used in my research. I used the M700 and the DVL-10, two very popular and very effective rifles. At base, the M700 is shorter than the DVL. However, throw on a suppressor, and that advantage gets thrown out the window. The DVL-10 comes suppressed, meaning that you'll be able to take out enemies quietly. However, this also works in the favor of the M700, as it is far more customizable compared to the DVL, allowing for foregrips and laser sights to be attached. One small difference between the two is the cycling animations. When you fire a shot, it is important that you keep a clear sight while cycling the bolt. The animations differ slightly between the two rifles, and the cycling animation for the DVL leaves a clearer sight picture in my opinion. While this is a minor difference, it can be the edge you need to hit a follow-up shot that much faster. Finally, the M700 is slightly lighter than the DVL, allowing you to aim it for longer. However, this technical advantage is triumphed by the sheer cool factor of the DVL-10. I don't make the rules, I make the video, and something about the shade of green and the silent shots and just the specialist operator feel of the weapon, it does something for me. Now of course, you need to have a backup option in the common event that you end up in a close quarters encounter, and luckily for you, there are many options for you to choose from. Normally this wouldn't be a problem using a semi-automatic rifle, as you can more quickly put shots down range and more easily defend yourself. However, we forego this luxury when using bolt-action rifles in favor of style points. As for secondary options, I recommend a pistol that can shoot armor-piercing bullets, my go-to choice being the USP. The aesthetics of the weapon combined with the DVL just felt right to me, although alternative options such as the 5.7 is also a quite good choice. Now that we've gone through the loadout, let's get into the clips.
I like the way you kiss me. I like the way you I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss me. I can tell it is. Not trying to be romantic. I hit it from the back just so you don't get attached. I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss me. I can tell it is. Not trying to be romantic. I hit it from the back just so you don't get attached.
Both on site.
I'll let you down. Stick around and you'll find out. Don't you wanna make me proud? 'Cause I'm so proud. Baby, I'm so proud of you. I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss me. I can tell it is. Not trying to be romantic. I hit it from the back just so you don't get attached. I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss me. I can tell it is. Not trying to be romantic. I hit it from the back just so you don't get attached. Go stress you out. Can I help you out? Does it turn you on? When I turn you around, can we make a scene? Can you make it loud? 'Cause I'm so proud. Baby, I'm so proud.
Fuck him. It's fucking cocky, man. Well done. Nice. Yeah, great stuff.
Using bolt-action rifles was definitely a learning experience. I realized how reliant I was on spraying and praying to get my kills. I could remedy poor positioning and overconfidence with sheer luck and a wall of lead. Removing that crutch forced me to take each shot carefully and patiently, because a missed shot was a death sentence. With each pull of the trigger, I put my life into my own hands. If you want to see what you need to improve in your gameplay, use bolt-action rifles. You suck at aiming? Dead. Your positioning is trash? Dead. You're too aggressive? Dead. However, with each death, you will learn, and your fundamentals of the game will improve. With that being said, I'm gonna have to rate bolt-action rifles a 7 out of 10. Bolt-actions may not be the best weapon in the game, but they aren't meant to be. A lethal tradition, a retired workhorse. They've served under every flag and in every battlefield, forged in fire and carried through generations. Not a weapon of speed, but a weapon of certainty. They may be outshone by the new toys, but they're not meant to outgun, they're meant to outlast. And if you play with the old dog, you might just learn some new tricks. The bolt-action rifle. Tradition. Veteran. Professional.
Nice. GG is easy.
Hey there, thanks for making it to the end of my video. I'm a small content creator, so if you like the video, a subscription would really mean a lot to me. If you have a video idea, or just have comments about the video, please let me know, and I'll do my best to respond to you. I hope you have a really good day. Thanks for watching.